Marcus Chen smashed the coffee mug against the wall. Ceramic exploded. Brown liquid dripped down the faded yellow paint. The woman in his flannel shirt didn't flinch. "You need to get the hell out of my house," he said, his voice shaking with something that wasn't quite rage and wasn't quite fear. Victoria Sterling smiled. Not the polite smile she'd probably used in 1,000 boardrooms. This one had teeth. "Your house." She pulled a folded document from the shirt pocket, his shirt pocket. "Funny thing about that, Marcus. As of 3 months ago, I own the deed. Which means this is my house. You're just renting. And you're 4 months behind." His 8-year-old daughter Lily stood frozen in the hallway, clutching her stuffed rabbit. "Daddy. Drop a comment with your city. Let me know how far this story reaches. And buckle up, because everything you think you know about last night, you're wrong." The mug had been Elena's favorite. The one with the chipped handle and the faded "World's Best Mom" text. Marcus stared at the shattered pieces on the linoleum and felt something crack open inside his chest. "Bad idea," Victoria said quietly. "That's going to be hard to clean. Get out. We need to talk." "There's nothing to talk about." Marcus crossed the kitchen in 3 strides, grabbed the landline off the wall. His hands were shaking so badly he could barely hold it. "I'm calling the cops. You broke into my house." "I didn't break in. You gave me the keys last night. Don't you remember?" He didn't remember. That was the problem. Last night was a blur of headlights and screaming metal and smoke so thick it burned going down. He remembered pulling someone from a car. Remembered blood. Remembered driving through streets that looked like a war zone because the wildfire had jumped the highway and half of North Seattle was evacuating. He didn't remember giving anyone his keys. Victoria walked to the table, moved like she owned the place, which apparently she did, and sat down. "Put the phone down, Marcus. I'm not here to hurt you." "Then why are you here?" "I told you. We need to talk." Lily took a tentative step into the kitchen. "Daddy, what's happening?" Marcus forced his voice to stay level. "Nothing, sweetheart. Go back to your room." "But—" "Now, Lily." She went, but slowly, looking back over her shoulder like she knew something was breaking and couldn't stop it. When her door clicked shut, Marcus hung up the phone. Didn't dial. Just hung it up and leaned against the counter because standing upright suddenly felt like too much work. "How much do I owe you?" he asked. "Excuse me." "The mortgage. How much am I behind?" Victoria opened the document. $8,400, plus fees. Call it $9,000 even. $9,000. Marcus had $400 in his checking account, maybe another $200 in cash scattered between his truck and his tool bag. "I'll get you the money," he said. "When?" "I don't know, but I'll get it." "You have 30 days. Then I start foreclosure proceedings." Marcus laughed. It came out bitter and sharp. "Jesus Christ, you're really doing this? I saved your life last night, and you're going to take my house." Victoria's expression didn't change. "I didn't ask you to save me. Your car was on fire, and you made a choice. That's on you. You are unfucking believable. I'm practical." She smoothed the flannel shirt with her hands. "This is business, Marcus. Nothing personal." "Nothing personal." Marcus pushed off the counter. "You show up in my kitchen wearing my dead wife's shirt. Your wife's. That was Elena's. She gave me that shirt 6 years ago for Christmas, and you just—" His voice cracked. He couldn't finish. Victoria looked down at the flannel. For the first time, something like emotion crossed her face. "I'm sorry, I didn't know. I found it on the chair and my clothes were covered in blood and I needed—" "Take it off." "What?" "Take it off. Right now." They stared at each other. The clock on the microwave blinked 7:47 a.m. Somewhere down the street, a dog barked. Victoria's hands went to the buttons, started unbuttoning, slow, deliberate. Marcus turned away. "Jesus, what are you doing? You said take it off. I didn't mean put your damn clothes back on. They're ruined." Then I'll find you something else. Just Christ. He yanked open the hall closet, grabbed an old Seattle Mariners hoodie, threw it at her without looking. Here. When he turned back around, she'd changed. The flannel shirt was folded neatly on the table. She looked smaller in the hoodie. Younger. Almost vulnerable. Almost. Thank you, she said. Don't thank me. Just leave. Not until we finish this conversation. Marcus slammed his hand on the counter. The sound cracked through the kitchen like a gunshot. There is no conversation. You own my house. I'm broke. You're going to evict me. End of story. It doesn't have to be. What's that supposed to mean? Victoria pulled out a chair, sat back down, gestured to the empty seat across from her. Sit. I'm not... Sit down, Marcus. Please. Something in her voice made him listen. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe it was the way she said please, like the word hurt coming out. He sat. Last night, Victoria said, you pulled me out of a burning Lexus on Highway 101. You broke the window with your elbow, cut the seatbelt with a pocket knife, carried me to your truck, and drove me here instead of to Swedish Medical. The roads were blocked. Some of them, not all of them. She leaned forward. Why didn't you take me to the hospital, Marcus? I told you. The truth. He looked at her. Really looked at her. Sharp cheekbones, dark eyes that missed nothing, the kind of face that belonged in corporate headshots and Forbes profiles. Because I was scared, he said finally. Of what? Of getting involved, of questions, of... He stopped. Of what happened to the other car? Victoria finished quietly. Marcus's blood went cold. What other car? The black Escalade, the one that forced me off the road. She pulled out her phone, swiped, turned the screen toward him. It was a photo. Grainy dark, but clear enough. The wreckage of her Lexus, and in the background barely visible a second vehicle, driving away. You saw it, Victoria said. Didn't you? Marcus couldn't breathe. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. You saw them leave. You didn't report it. Why? I was trying to save you. And after? When I was safe, when you had your phone, and you could have called 911 and told them someone ran me off the road. Marcus stood up so fast his chair toppled backward. I had a bleeding woman in my truck, and the whole damn city was on fire. Excuse me for not filing a police report. Or maybe, Victoria's voice went quiet, dangerous. Maybe you recognized the Escalade. The kitchen felt too small, too hot. Marcus's heart hammered against his ribs. I need you to leave, he said. Right now. I ran a background check on you, Marcus. Did you know that? That's illegal. You worked for Harmon & Associates, architectural firm, commercial developments, high-rises, luxury condos. You were their lead designer for the Sterling Plaza project downtown. Marcus went very still. That was 5 years ago, Victoria continued. Before Sterling Technologies bought the property and scrapped your designs. Before your firm fired you for what was it? Oh, right. Ethical concerns regarding client relations. Stop. You filed a wrongful termination suit, lost, declared bankruptcy. Then your wife died and you disappeared into this. She gestured at the small kitchen, the worn cabinets, the life he'd built from scraps. I said stop. Did you know it was my car when you pulled me out, Marcus? Did you recognize the Sterling Tech logo on the license plate frame? He couldn't look at her. No. Are you sure? Yes, I'm fucking sure I didn't. I wouldn't. Wouldn't what? Victoria stood, walked toward him. Wouldn't let me die? Or wouldn't save the woman whose company destroyed your career? Marcus grabbed his keys off the counter. I'm going for a drive. When I get back, you better be gone. I'm not done. I don't care. He headed for the door. Made it 3 steps before Victoria said, They weren't trying to kill me. He stopped. The Escalade, she continued. They were trying to scare me. Send a message. I've been getting threats for 6 months. Ever since I fired my stepbrother from the company and froze him out of the family trust. Marcus turned slowly. Why are you telling me this? Because you saved me anyway. Even though I ruined your life. Even though you had every reason to drive past and pretend you didn't see. She crossed her arms. Why? Because it was the right thing to do. Bullshit. Nobody does the right thing anymore. Not without an angle. Then maybe I'm nobody. They stared at each other. The silence stretched like a wire pulled too tight. Lily's door opened. She crept out, still holding the rabbit. Daddy, are you leaving? Just for a little while, sweetie? Is the pretty lady staying? Marcus looked at Victoria. Waited. Victoria crouched down to Lily's level. Would that be okay with you? Lily nodded. Can you make eggs? Daddy burns them. I heard that, Marcus muttered. It's true, Lily said solemnly. Victoria smiled. A real smile this time. I can make eggs, French style, with cheese. I like cheese. Then we have a deal. Marcus should have said no. Should have grabbed Lily and left and never looked back. But he was so damn tired. And watching Victoria talk to his daughter like she was a real person instead of an obstacle. It reminded him of Elena. 1 hour, he said. I'll be back in 1 hour. If you're still here, we're having a very different conversation. Victoria nodded. Fair enough. He left. Sat in his truck in the driveway for 5 minutes, hands on the wheel, trying to remember how to breathe. His phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. How much is your silence worth? Below it, an image loaded. The photo Victoria had shown him. The Escalade. But this version was clearer, enhanced, and visible in the driver's seat. A face Marcus recognized. Julian Sterling. Victoria's stepbrother. His hands went numb. A second text arrived. $50 and $1,000. Cash. Don't tell Victoria. Or I'll make sure everyone knows you let her company destroy you and then saved her life for revenge. Marcus stared at the screen. $50,000 would save his house. Pay off every debt. Give Lily the life she deserved. All he had to do was stay quiet. He looked back at the house. Through the kitchen window, he could see Victoria and Lily. They were laughing. Lily was showing her something, probably her art project from school. Marcus deleted the texts, started the truck, and drove. When he came back an hour later, the smell of cooking eggs hit him the moment he opened the door. Real eggs. Not burnt. Victoria was at the stove, still wearing his mariner's hoodie. Lily sat at the table, chattering nonstop about her friend Emma and some drama involving a stolen crayon. They both looked up when he walked in. You came back, Victoria said. It's my house. He paused. For 30 more days anyway. Lily jumped up. Daddy, she makes eggs like Mommy used to. Something twisted in Marcus's chest. Victoria plated the eggs, 3 plates. She'd made enough for all of them. They ate in silence. It wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't hostile either. When Lily finished, she asked to be excused. Ran off to her room to play. Marcus and Victoria sat across from each other, the empty plates between them. I'm not going to take your house, Victoria said quietly. You said? I know what I said. I was angry and scared, and I took it out on you. That was wrong. Marcus frowned. What changed? Your daughter told me you work 3 jobs, that sometimes you sleep in your truck between shifts so you don't waste time driving home, that you haven't bought yourself new clothes in 2 years because every dollar goes to her. She talks too much. She loves you. Victoria pushed her plate away. I grew up in foster care, Marcus. 11 different homes before I aged out. Most of them were bad. The kind of bad that shapes you in ways you can't fix. Marcus didn't know what to say to that. When I made my first $1 million, Victoria continued, I thought I'd finally feel safe. Then it was 10 million, then 100. But the fear never goes away. You just build bigger walls. She looked at him. until someone breaks through without even trying. I don't understand. You saved me. Not because of who I am or what I'm worth. You saved me because I needed help. That doesn't happen to people like me. Maybe it should. Victoria laughed softly. Yeah, maybe it should. Marcus's phone buzzed in his pocket. He ignored it. I want to help you, Victoria said. I don't need. Yes, you do, and I'm not talking about charity. I'm talking about a partnership. Partnership. She pulled out a business card, set it on the table between them. I run a foundation, Sterling Futures. We fund community projects, small businesses, education initiatives. I want to start a new program for single parents, people who are struggling but fighting like hell anyway. Okay. I want to call it the Chen Initiative, and I want you to help me run it. Marcus stared at her. You're insane. Probably. But I'm also serious. She tapped the card. Think about it. Real salary. Benefits. Flexible hours so you can be there for Lily. And you'd be helping people who are exactly where you are right now. Why me? Because you understand. Because you've lived it. And because... She hesitated. Because I need someone who won't bullshit me. Someone who'll call me out when I'm making decisions from an ivory tower instead of reality. Marcus picked up the card, turned it over in his hands. If I say yes, he said slowly, this doesn't mean we're friends. I know. And you still need to leave. Today. Understood. And you give me back that shirt, the flannel one. Victoria smiled. Deal. She stood, walked to the table where she'd left it folded, handed it to him. Marcus held it. It still smelled like Elena's lavender detergent. He'd been using the same brand for 4 years because changing it felt like letting go. I'll think about it, he said. That's all I'm asking. Victoria headed for the door, stopped with her hand on the knob. For what it's worth, your wife was right. About what? The shirt. You look good in flannel. Then she was gone. Marcus stood alone in his kitchen, holding Elena's shirt, staring at the business card. His phone buzzed again. He pulled it out. Another text from Julian's number. Time's running out, Marcus. Make the smart choice. Marcus looked at Lily's closed door. Thought about the art supplies she needed for school. The field trip he couldn't afford. The college fund that didn't exist. He thought about Victoria's offer. A real job. A chance to help people. And he thought about the Escalade driving away while Victoria's car burned. He pulled up Julian's number. Typed, "We should meet." The response came instantly. Smart man, tomorrow, 10 p.m. I'll send the address. Marcus deleted the thread, walked to Lily's room. She was on the floor painting. Watercolors, a field of wildflowers that looked exactly like the ones Elena used to grow in their old backyard before she got sick. Hey, kiddo. She looked up. Is the pretty lady gone? Yeah. I liked her. Yeah, Marcus said again. Me too. Lily went back to painting. Daddy. Do you think Mommy would be mad about the pretty lady? Marcus knelt down beside her, brushed paint-stained hair out of her eyes. Why would you ask that? Because you smiled when she was here. You don't smile much anymore. His throat closed up. No baby, he managed. Mommy wouldn't be mad. She'd be happy I smiled. Lily nodded, dipped her brush in blue. Good, because I want you to be happy again. Marcus kissed the top of her head. I'm working on it. That night after Lily was asleep, Marcus sat on his bed and pulled out his phone, stared at Victoria's business card. He should throw it away, should forget this whole insane day. Instead, he texted the number on the card. What does the job actually entail? The response came 3 minutes later. Dinner tomorrow, 7 p.m. Bring Lily. We'll talk details. Marcus almost said no. Almost. Okay. And Marcus? Yeah. Thank you for saving me. He stared at that message for a long time. Then he looked at the next text thread. Julian's number. The meeting request. 10 p.m. tomorrow, same night as Victoria's dinner. He'd have to choose. Marcus turned off his phone. Lay back on Elena's side of the bed, he still couldn't sleep on it even after 4 years. I don't know what I'm doing, he whispered to the empty room. I don't know if I'm making the right choice. No one answered, but somewhere in the house, Lily laughed in her sleep. And Marcus decided that was enough of a sign. He'd go to Victoria's dinner, and at 10 p.m. he'd meet Julian. Because $50,000 could save his daughter's future. And maybe, just maybe, he could figure out a way to do the right thing and survive it. Even if Victoria never forgave him for it. The last thing Marcus Chen thought before he fell asleep was, I'm either the hero of this story or the villain. And I have no idea which one. The black Mercedes arrived at 6:30 p.m. Early. Like Victoria was testing whether Marcus would actually show. He was ready. Had been ready since 5. Changed shirts 3 times before settling on the blue button-down he wore to Elena's funeral. It still fit barely. He'd lost weight over the past 4 years, stopped eating regular meals, lived on coffee and whatever Lily didn't finish. Lily was wearing her yellow dress, the one with the sunflowers. She'd insisted on it, spent 20 minutes brushing her hair until it shined. Do I look pretty, Daddy? You look perfect. She grinned, gap-toothed and brilliant. Miss Victoria's gonna love it. Marcus didn't correct her. Didn't tell her this was business, not a date, not whatever 8-year-old fantasy she'd constructed in her head. The driver got out, same guy from before, salt and pepper hair, kind eyes, the build of someone who'd done harder work before this. Mr. Chen, Miss Lily. He opened the rear door. Ms. Sterling is looking forward to seeing you both. Lily climbed in like royalty. Marcus followed, feeling like an imposter in a borrowed life. The restaurant was different this time. Not downtown, not some place with waiters in bow ties and wine lists thicker than phone books. They pulled up to a small Italian spot in Fremont. Red-checked tablecloths visible through the windows. String lights hanging from the ceiling. The kind of place Marcus used to take Elena on paydays when money wasn't so tight. Victoria was waiting outside. Jeans, a cream sweater, hair down. She looked normal, like someone you'd pass on the street and not think twice about. You came, she said. You doubted me. Little bit. She smiled at Lily. That dress is gorgeous. Lily twirled. It has pockets. The best dresses always do. They went inside. The owner, a gray-haired Italian woman who looked like she'd raised 10 kids and taken exactly 0 shit from any of them, greeted Victoria with a hug. Vittoria troppo magra, you don't eat enough. Hi, Mama Rosa. Victoria's cheeks actually colored. These are my friends, Marcus and Lily Chen. Friends. Mama Rosa turned her attention to Marcus, looked him up and down like she was appraising livestock. This one's too skinny, too. I fix. You sit. I bring food. She didn't wait for an answer, just disappeared into the kitchen, already shouting in rapid Italian. They sat. Corner booth. Lily immediately started coloring on the paper tablecloth with the crayons provided. Marcus looked at Victoria. Friends. What should I have said? Business associates. That would have been accurate. Would it? Victoria folded her hands on the table. I'm not good at this. At what? People. Relationships that aren't transactional. She watched Lily color. I practiced what to say, wrote it down, 3 different versions. And then I threw them all away because they sounded like corporate bullshit. She met his eyes. So, here's the truth. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this foundation idea is smart or stupid, and I don't know if asking you to help me run it is going to work or blow up in both our faces. Marcus leaned back. That's quite an elevator pitch. I'm not pitching. I'm being honest. Mama Rosa returned with bread, olive oil, balsamic vinegar. You eat, get strong, then we talk business. She vanished again. Lily grabbed a piece of bread, dunked it enthusiastically, got oil all over her chin. Victoria handed her a napkin. The gesture was automatic, maternal. You're good with kids, Marcus said. I'm really not. You are with her. Victoria watched Lily color. She's easy to be good with. She's uncomplicated, says what she means, doesn't have an agenda. She's 8. Exactly. Victoria tore off a piece of bread, but didn't eat it, just turned it over in her hands. When I was 8, I was in my 4th foster home. The dad was a drinker. The mom pretended not to notice. I learned to make myself invisible. Stay quiet. Don't need anything. Marcus's chest tightened. Lily doesn't know how to be invisible, Victoria continued. She lights up every room she walks into. That's because of you, how you raised her. I'm just trying not to screw her up. You're doing more than that. Mama Rosa brought pasta. Mountains of it. Fettuccine carbonara, penne arrabbiata, lasagna that smelled like heaven. Lily's eyes went wide. This is all for us. Mangia, mangia. Mama Rosa waved her hands. You eat everything. I don't want to see one noodle left. They ate. For a few minutes nobody talked. Just the sounds of forks on plates and Lily's appreciative humming. Then Victoria said, The Chen Initiative. Here's what I'm thinking. Marcus set down his fork. I'm listening. Direct financial assistance. No application process that takes 6 months and requires a PhD to navigate. Just people who need help get help. How do you determine who qualifies? We don't, they do. Victoria pulled out her phone, showed him a rough wireframe. Online portal, you submit your story, your situation, what you need. Community members vote on who gets funded. That could be a disaster. People gaming the system. So, we build in safeguards, verification, spot checks. But the core idea is trust. Trusting that most people are honest. That most people just need a break. Marcus studied the wireframe. It's naive. Maybe. It'll get taken advantage of. Probably. And you still want to do it. Victoria looked at him. Yeah, I do. Because even if 90% of requests are bullshit, and I don't think they will be that 10% of people we actually help, that matters. Lily piped up, mouthful of pasta. I think it's a good idea. Lily, don't talk with your mouth full, Marcus said automatically. She swallowed. But it is. Emma's dad lost his job. They might lose their apartment. This could help them. Victoria leaned forward. Would Emma's family use something like this? Lily nodded vigorously. Her dad's really sad all the time now. He tries to hide it, but Emma says she hears him crying at night. The table went quiet. Marcus felt something shift in his chest. How much are we talking per family? Depends on need. But I'm thinking anywhere from 5 to 50,000. Marcus nearly choked on his wine. 50,000 per family. If that's what it takes. Victoria, that's the math doesn't work, even with your resources. I'm putting in 20 million to start. That's 400 families at 50,000 each, or 4,000 families at 5,000 each. She set her phone down. I know it won't solve everything, but it's a start. 20 million. Marcus tried to wrap his head around that number. Failed. What do you need me for? He asked. You could hire a team, consultants, people who actually know what they're doing. I don't want consultants. I want someone who's lived it. Someone who knows what it's like to choose between rent and groceries. Someone who won't let this become another corporate charity that looks good in press releases, but doesn't actually help anyone. You barely know me. I know enough. Victoria's voice went quiet. I know you saved my life when you had every reason not to. I know you're working yourself to death for your daughter. I know you threw money back in my face, Because you have principles. She paused. That's more than I know about most people I've worked with for years. Mama Rosa appeared with dessert. Tiramisu. 3 portions. You eat, she commanded. Then you make the smart choice. She looked pointedly at Marcus. This one's a good woman, don't be stupid. She left. Lily giggled. She's funny. Victoria smiled. She's been feeding me since I was 22, first person in Seattle who was nice to me without wanting something. What did she want? Lily asked. For me to eat more. Victoria took a bite of tiramisu. Still working on that. They finished dessert. Mama Rosa refused payment. You bring this beautiful family, I feed them. This is how it works. And they walked outside into the cool evening air. The Mercedes was waiting, but Victoria waved the driver off. Give us a few minutes. He nodded and pulled away from the curb. Victoria turned to Marcus. I need an answer. Now. Tomorrow I'm flying to San Francisco. Board meeting. They're going to ask about the foundation. I need to know if you're in or out. Marcus looked at Lily. She was spinning in circles on the sidewalk, arms out, face turned up to the sky. What's the salary? He asked. 85,000, plus benefits. Health, dental, vision, retirement matching. More than double what he made now, across all 3 jobs combined. Hours. Flexible. You'd have an office, but you could work from home when you need to. Be there for Lily. And if it doesn't work out, if I'm terrible at this? Victoria met his eyes. Then we figure it out, together. I'm not looking for perfection, Marcus. I'm looking for someone who gives a damn. He wanted to say yes. Every rational part of his brain was screaming yes. But Julian's text sat in his phone like a ticking bomb. 10 p.m. Tonight. Can I give you an answer tomorrow? Marcus asked. Victoria's face fell. Just for a second. Then the mask slipped back on. Sure. Of course. It's not, I want to. I just need to, there's something I need to take care of first. Something you can't tell me about. Marcus hesitated. Yeah. Victoria studied him. Okay. Okay. Everyone's got their secrets, Marcus. God knows I've got mine. She pulled out her phone. I'll text you tomorrow, noon. If I don't hear back, I'll know your answer. The Mercedes returned. Victoria hugged Lily goodbye, a real hug, not the awkward pat most adults gave kids. You take care of your dad, Victoria said. I will. You take care of you. Victoria blinked. I'll try. She looked at Marcus, held out her hand. He shook it. Her grip was firm, professional. Thanks for coming, she said. Thanks for dinner. She got in the car. The door closed. The Mercedes pulled away. Lily slipped her hand into Marcus's. You're gonna say yes, right? I don't know, kiddo. Why not? Because I'm meeting the man who tried to kill her in 3 hours, Marcus thought. Because I'm about to do something that might destroy everything. It's complicated, he said instead. They walked to his truck, drove home in silence. Lily fell asleep in the passenger seat, head against the window. Marcus carried her inside, tucked her in, kissed her forehead. Then he sat in his truck in the driveway and pulled up Julian's last text. The address was in Industrial District, warehouse near the shipping yards. Marcus checked the time. 9:47 p.m. He could still back out. Could delete the message. Pretend this never happened. His phone buzzed. Text from the bank. Overdraft notice. Your account is overdrawn by $127.43. Please deposit funds immediately to avoid additional fees. Marcus closed his eyes, opened them, started the truck. The warehouse was exactly as shady as Marcus expected. Chain-link fence, broken streetlights. The kind of place where bad things happened and nobody asked questions. He parked outside, sat there for a full minute, engine running, telling himself to leave. Then he got out. The side door was unlocked. He pushed through into darkness. His footsteps echoed on concrete. "Hello?" Lights flickered on. Overhead fluorescents buzzing like angry wasps. Julian Sterling stood in the center of the space. Tailored suit, slicked back hair, the kind of face that looked friendly in photos and dead behind the eyes in person. Marcus Chen. Julian's smile didn't reach anywhere near his eyes. "Right on time. I appreciate punctuality. Let's get this over with." "Straight to business. I like that." Julian pulled a manila envelope from his jacket, set it on an overturned crate. 50,000. Cash. You count it if you want. Marcus didn't move toward it. "What do you want?" "Your silence. About the accident, the Escalade you saw, this conversation, all of it." Julian's smile widened. "As far as anyone knows, my dear sister hit a patch of ice. Lost control. Tragic. But accidents happen." "You tried to kill her." "Kill?" Julian laughed. "God, no. I just wanted to scare her. Make her think twice about freezing me out of the family business." He shrugged. "The fire was unfortunate. Unplanned." Marcus's hands curled into fists. "She could have died. But she didn't, thanks to you." Julian gestured to the envelope. "Which is why you're getting paid. You saved her life. This is your reward. And if I don't take it, then I release the security footage from your old firm, the files you stole, the client information you tried to sell to competitors before Sterling Tech bought the property out from under you." Marcus went very still. "I never stole anything." "Your word against documented evidence. Digital footprints. Emails with suspiciously convenient timestamps." Julian pulled out his phone, tapped a few times. "I had my people dig deep, Marcus. You'd be amazed what a good team can fabricate when motivated." "You're bluffing." "Am I?" Julian turned the phone around. It was an email. Marcus's name in the sender field. Dated 5 years ago. Offering proprietary designs to a rival firm for $200,000. Marcus had never written that email, had never even considered it. But it looked real. "They'll never believe you," Marcus said. "I'll tell them." "Tell them what?" "That you're a desperate single dad who'll do anything for money, that you coincidentally saved my sister's life after her company destroyed your career." Julian pocketed his phone. "The optics aren't great, Marcus." The warehouse felt too small. Marcus couldn't breathe. "Take the money," Julian said quietly. "Walk away. Give your daughter the life she deserves. Or go to war with me and lose everything." He pushed the envelope closer. "It's really not a hard choice." Marcus looked at the envelope, thought about Lily, about the overdraft notice, about Victoria's offer, a real job, a real chance. He thought about Elena, about her last words. "Promise me you'll let someone in again someday." He picked up the envelope. Julian's smile returned. "Smart man." Marcus opened it, looked at the bills inside. Neat stacks. Hundreds. Then he dropped it. Money scattered across the concrete floor. "I'm not doing this," Marcus said. Julian's smile vanished. "Excuse me. You heard me. I'm not taking your money, and I'm not keeping quiet." "Then you're an idiot." "Probably." Marcus turned toward the door. "But I'm an idiot who can sleep at night." "Marcus," Julian's voice went cold. "If you walk out that door, I will destroy you. Your reputation, your custody of Lily, everything." Marcus stopped, turned back. "You know what the difference is between you and your sister. Enlighten me." She apologized. For the shirt? For the mortgage threat? For being a human being who makes mistakes? Marcus took a step forward. You don't even see people. We're just obstacles, problems to solve." Big talk from a guy who's 1 month from homelessness. "Yeah, maybe." Marcus pulled out his phone. "But at least I'm not the guy who just confessed to vehicular assault on a recorded line." Julian went white. You're bluffing. Marcus held up his phone. Voice memo app. Recording. Red dot blinking. You son of a... I'm sending this to Victoria, and the police, and anyone else who'll listen. Marcus backed toward the door. You're done, Julian. Julian lunged. Marcus sidestepped. His body remembered muscle memory from high school wrestling, from construction work, from years of physical labor that Julian's gym membership couldn't match. Julian hit the floor hard. Marcus ran, made it to his truck, locked the doors, hands shaking so badly he could barely get the key in the ignition. His phone rang. Victoria. He answered. Hello? Marcus. Are you okay? You sound... I need to tell you something. The words came out in a rush. Your brother, Julian, he's the one who ran you off the road. He just tried to pay me $50,000 to keep quiet. I recorded him confessing. I'm sending you the file right now. Silence on the other end. Then, where are you? Industrial District, warehouse on Harbor Avenue. Stay there. I'm sending the police. Victoria. Stay. There. Her voice was steel. Do not move. Do not engage with him again. Do you understand me? Yeah, I understand. I'm coming too. She hung up. Marcus sat in his truck engine running, watching the warehouse door. Waiting. Sirens arrived 12 minutes later. 3 patrol cars. Officers poured out. Then Victoria's Mercedes. She got out before it fully stopped. Walked straight to Marcus's truck. He rolled down the window. You okay? She asked. Define okay. Breathing, not bleeding. Then yeah, I'm okay. Police went into the warehouse. Came out 5 minutes later with Julian in handcuffs. He was screaming about lawyers and false accusations and his family's connections. Victoria watched him get shoved into a patrol car. Her face was carved stone. An officer approached. Ms. Sterling, we'll need your statement. Of course. She looked at Marcus. You too. They spent 2 hours at the precinct, told their stories, handed over the recording, watched detectives take notes and exchange looks that said this was going to be a mess. Finally, they were released. Victoria walked Marcus to his truck. It was past midnight. The parking lot was empty except for them. Why'd you do it? She asked. Do what? Turn down the money. Risk everything. She crossed her arms. 50,000 would have solved all your problems. Marcus leaned against his truck. Not all of them. Most. Yeah, most. He looked up at the sky. No stars. Too much city light. But I would have had to live with myself. And I'm already carrying enough weight. Victoria was quiet for a long moment. Then, Elena, your wife. What was she like? The question caught him off guard. Why do you want to know? Because Lily talks about her like she was a saint, and you talk about her like she was... Victoria paused. Like she was the reason you're still breathing. Marcus's throat tightened. She was kind. Funny. Called me out on my bullshit. Made me want to be better. He smiled at the memory. She'd have liked you. You think... She had a thing for stubborn people who thought they didn't need help. Victoria laughed. Soft, genuine. That's weirdly specific. That's Elena. They stood in comfortable silence. Then Victoria said, The job offer still stands, if you want it. After tonight, after I nearly got killed meeting with your psycho brother, especially after tonight. She met his eyes. You could have taken the money and run. Nobody would have blamed you. But you did the right thing anyway. That's what I need. Someone who won't compromise when it matters. Marcus wanted to say yes. Every part of him wanted to say yes. I need 24 hours, he said instead. Why? Because I need to talk to Lily. Explain what happened. Make sure she's okay with all of this. He gestured vaguely between them. You're not just offering me a job, Victoria. You're becoming part of our lives. That's a big deal." Victoria's expression softened. "You're a good dad." "I'm a terrified dad who has no idea what he's doing." "Same thing." Marcus laughed despite himself. "Yeah, maybe." Victoria held out her hand. 24 hours. Then I need an answer." He shook it. "You'll have it." She got in her car, drove away. Marcus sat in his truck for a long time. Then he drove home. Lily was asleep on the couch. Mrs. Park from next door was reading a magazine in the chair. "She insisted on waiting up for you," Mrs. Park said. "Made it to 10:30 before she crashed." "Thanks for staying with her." "Anytime." Mrs. Park stood gathering her things. "That woman on the news, the CEO, that's who you've been spending time with." Marcus nodded. "She's pretty." "Mrs. Park." "Elena would approve." The old woman patted his arm. "Your wife had good taste in people. She'd want you to be happy." She left before Marcus could respond. He carried Lily to her bed, tucked her in. She stirred. "Daddy." "Yeah, baby." "Did you make the smart choice?" Marcus kissed her forehead. "I think so. We'll talk about it tomorrow." She smiled in her sleep. "Love you." "Love you too." Marcus went to his room, pulled out his phone, looked at Victoria's last text, then he looked at the photo on his nightstand. Elena. Smiling. Alive. "I'm trying," he whispered. "I'm trying to do what you asked." The photo didn't answer. But somewhere in his chest the weight shifted. Just a little. Enough to breathe. Enough to hope. Enough to believe that maybe, just maybe, saying yes to Victoria Sterling wasn't going to destroy everything. Maybe it was going to save it. Morning came too fast. Marcus woke to Lily standing beside his bed, already dressed, holding her stuffed rabbit in one hand and his phone in the other. "You have 17 missed calls," she said. Marcus sat up, head pounding. He'd barely slept 3 hours. "From who?" "Miss Victoria, and some numbers I don't know, and Emma's mom." Lily tilted her head. "Why is Emma's mom calling you?" Marcus took the phone, saw the notifications, texts, voicemails, email alerts. His stomach dropped. "Go brush your teeth, sweetie. I'll make breakfast in a minute." "We don't have any eggs." "Then cereal." "We're out of milk, too." "Christ. Then I'll figure something out. Just give me a second, okay?" Lily left. Marcus opened his phone. The first voicemail was from Victoria. Time-stamped 6:47 a.m. "Marcus, call me back. Julian made bail 2 hours ago. His lawyers are already spinning this. You need to just call me, please." The second was from a number he didn't recognize. A reporter. "Mr. Chen, this is David Walsh from Seattle Times. We'd love to get your statement about the Sterling family situation. There are reports you're involved in." Marcus deleted it, went to the next one. Another reporter, then another. The texts were worse. Unknown numbers, some supportive, most not. "Gold digger. You're using that poor woman. How much did she pay you to lie about her brother?" Marcus's hand started shaking. He called Victoria. She picked up on the first ring. "Where are you?" she asked. "Home." "What the hell is happening?" "Julian's team leaked a story. They're saying you orchestrated the whole thing, that you recognized my car, saw an opportunity, and now you're fabricating evidence to extort the family." "That's insane." "I know that. You know that. But it's a good story. And people love a good scandal." Her voice was tight, controlled. But Marcus could hear the stress underneath. "His lawyers filed a defamation suit this morning. Against you. Against me. They're asking for 10 million in damages." Marcus felt the room tilt. "I don't have 10 million. I don't have 10,000. They know that. That's the point. They're trying to bury you in legal fees until you recant." "I'm not recanting. I have the recording." "Which they're claiming is doctored." They have their own audio experts ready to testify it's been manipulated. Marcus stood up, started pacing. I can't, Victoria. I have a daughter. If they come after me legally, if I lose custody. They won't. I won't let them. Her voice softened. But I need you to trust me. Can you do that? Marcus looked at Lily's door, heard her humming in the bathroom. I don't know, he said honestly. Silence on the other end. Then, fair enough. But I'm coming over. We need to talk. In person. When? I'm pulling up to your house right now. Marcus went to the window. Sure enough, the black Mercedes was parking at the curb. You could have led with that, he said. Where's the drama in that? She hung up. Marcus pulled on jeans and yesterday's shirt. Didn't bother with shoes. Met Victoria at the door before she could knock. She looked exhausted. Hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. No makeup. Wearing yoga pants and an oversized sweater that probably cost more than Marcus's truck, but looked like something a normal person would wear to the gym. You look like hell, Marcus said. Right back at you. She pushed past him into the house. Where's Lily? Bathroom. Why? Victoria pulled a laptop from her bag, set it on the kitchen table, opened it. Because I need to show you something before she comes out here. Marcus sat. Victoria pulled up a video file. This is security footage from the warehouse last night. Different angle than what the police have. My people pulled it from a traffic camera across the street. She hit play. The video showed Julian arriving at the warehouse, showed Marcus's truck pulling up 20 minutes later, showed the confrontation inside grainy but clear enough, showed Julian lunging at Marcus, showed Marcus running. But it also showed something else. A third car, parked in the shadows. Someone inside filming the whole thing. Victoria paused the video, zoomed in. The driver's face was partially visible. Marcus didn't recognize him. Who is that? He asked. Malcolm Reeves, private investigator, works for Julian's legal team. Victoria's jaw tightened. They were recording you. The whole meeting was a setup. Setup for what? This. She pulled up another video. This one was edited, cut together from multiple angles. Made it look like Marcus approached Julian. Made it look like Marcus demanded money. Made it look like Marcus attacked first when Julian refused. The audio was garbled, distorted. But you could hear Marcus's voice saying 50,000 and silence, and other words stripped of context and rearranged into something damning. Marcus felt sick. They're going to release this. They already did. It's on 3 news sites, trending on social media. Victoria closed the laptop. Julian's smarter than I gave him credit for. He knew you might record him, so he recorded you first. And now he's controlling the narrative. I'm screwed. Not necessarily. Victoria, they have video of me. Of you doing nothing wrong. We have the full context. We have your recording. We have police reports. She grabbed his hand. But more importantly, we have the truth. And I have resources. Lawyers. PR people. We can fight this. Marcus pulled his hand away, stood up, walked to the window. Outside, a van was parked across the street. Logo on the side. King 5 News. They're already here, he said quietly. Victoria came to stand beside him. Vultures. This is my life now. Reporters camping outside, strangers calling me a liar on the internet. Marcus turned to her. I can't do this to Lily. She's 8 years old. She doesn't deserve to be dragged into this mess. Then let me protect you both. How? Victoria took a breath. Come work for me. Not just the foundation. Come work directly for Sterling Technologies. I'll put you on payroll today, full legal protection. The company's lawyers become your lawyers. Anyone who comes after you has to go through me first. That's you're asking me to let you control my entire life. I'm asking you to let me help. She met his eyes. Marcus, I've been fighting people like Julian my whole life. I know how they operate. I know how to beat them, but I can't do it if you're out there alone, unprotected. And what do you get out of this? Victoria flinched like he'd slapped her. Are you serious? You're a CEO. Everything's a transaction. So what's the angle? The angle is, I owe you my life. You don't owe me anything. Yes, I do. Victoria's voice rose, then cracked. You saved me. Not because you knew who I was. Not because you wanted something. You did it. And I don't know how to process that. I don't know how to exist in a world where people are just good without expecting payment. Lily's door opened. She peeked out. Why are you yelling? Marcus and Victoria both froze. We're not yelling, Marcus said. We're just talking. Loudly, Lily added. She walked into the kitchen. Hi, Miss Victoria. Hi, sweetheart. Lily looked between them. Are you fighting? No, Victoria said quickly. We're just discussing some grown-up stuff. Is it about the people outside? Marcus's stomach dropped. You saw them. There's a lady with a camera on our lawn. She asked if I lived here. Lily climbed onto a chair. I said no and closed the curtain. Like you taught me. Good girl. Marcus knelt in front of her. Listen, kiddo. Some stuff is happening. Complicated stuff. And there might be people asking questions. About me. About Miss Victoria. About what happened last night. Lily's eyes widened. What happened last night? Marcus looked at Victoria. She nodded. I helped Miss Victoria with something. And some people are mad about it. So they're saying things that aren't true. And it might get messy, for a little while. Lily processed this. Like when Emma's parents got divorced and everyone at school was talking about it. Yeah, kind of like that. But you didn't do anything wrong. No, baby, I didn't. Then it'll be okay. Lily said it with such certainty that Marcus almost believed her. Victoria cleared her throat. Lily, can I ask you something? Sure. If your dad came to work with me like every day at my company, would that be okay with you? Lily thought about it. Would he still pick me up from school? Yes. And would he still make me dinner? Of course. Even the burnt eggs? Marcus groaned. One time. I burned them one time. Lily grinned, then looked at Victoria seriously. Would you be around more? Victoria hesitated. Probably. If that's okay. Like around? Or just work around? What's the difference? Lily sighed dramatically. Work around is boring. Around means you come to my art shows and help with homework, and maybe stay for movie night. Victoria glanced at Marcus. He shrugged. She's very specific about these things. If you wanted me to, I could do around, Victoria said. Lily beamed. Then yes, Daddy should work for you. Lily, that's not. Marcus started. You need a job that doesn't make you tired all the time. Miss Victoria needs someone who's nice and smart. It's perfect. Lily hopped off the chair. Can I have cereal now? I'm starving? Marcus got her cereal, no milk, so she ate it dry while scrolling through her tablet. Victoria leaned close to Marcus, whispered, She just negotiated better terms than my lawyers. She gets that from her mother. Smart woman. The smartest. Marcus poured himself coffee. Cold. From yesterday. He drank it anyway. If I say yes and I'm not saying I am, what does this job actually look like day to day? You'd be director of community outreach for both the foundation and the company. You'd review funding requests, visit families we're helping, make sure we're actually making a difference and not just writing checks to feel good about ourselves. That's it. You'd also attend company events, fundraisers, press conferences sometimes. I need a human face for this initiative, someone who can tell their story, make people understand why this matters. Marcus set down his coffee. You want me to be your poster child? I want you to be my partner. Victoria's voice was firm. This isn't charity, Marcus. I need you. The foundation needs you. Because I can write checks all day long, but if I don't have someone who actually understands the people we're trying to help, it's all just performative bullshit. Language, Marcus said, automatically glancing at Lily. She wasn't listening. Absorbed in her tablet. Probably watching videos of people making slime or whatever 8-year-olds watched these days. Victoria smiled. Sorry, performative nonsense. Better. They stood there, coffee cooling, news van still parked outside, the weight of the decision pressing down like a physical thing. Marcus thought about his 3 jobs, the overnight shifts, the days he worked 16 hours straight and came home too exhausted to read Lily a bedtime story. The constant anxiety about money, about keeping the lights on, about being enough. He thought about Elena, about her last words. And he thought about Victoria, about the way she looked at Lily like she was something precious, about the way she'd shown up this morning exhausted and scared but ready to fight anyway. 85,000, Marcus said. That's the salary you mentioned. Victoria nodded. Plus benefits. Plus benefits. And I can work from home when I need to. Yes. And you'll provide legal protection for me and Lily. The full weight of Sterling Technologies' legal department. Anyone who comes after you will regret it. Marcus took a breath. Let it out. Then okay. Victoria blinked. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take the job. You're sure? No, I'm terrified. But I'm doing it anyway. He held out his hand. Partners. Victoria stared at his hand, then at him. Then she ignored the hand completely and hugged him. It was brief, awkward, but genuine. When she pulled back, her eyes were wet. Thank you, she said. Don't thank me yet. I might be terrible at this. You won't be. You don't know that. Yes, I do. She wiped her eyes quickly, professionally. Okay, first order of business. We're getting you and Lily out of here. Somewhere the press can't find you. Just for a few days while my team handles the legal fallout. I can't just leave. I have... What your 3 jobs? Consider this your 2 weeks' notice. Effective immediately. Victoria pulled out her phone, started typing. I'm sending a car. Pack whatever you and Lily need for a week. A week, Victoria, that's non-negotiable. You work for me now. Which means you listen to me about safety. Her tone left no room for argument. There's a house in the San Juans, private island. No one knows about it except my assistant and the property manager. You'll be safe there. Lily looked up from her tablet. Are we going on vacation? Sort of, Marcus said. Can I bring my art stuff? All of it. She squealed and ran to her room. Marcus turned back to Victoria. A private island. Seriously. Technically, it's a peninsula, but it feels like an island. She pocketed her phone. Pack light. The house has everything you need. What about you? What about me? Are you coming? Victoria paused. Do you want me to? Marcus thought about it. About spending a week alone with Victoria Sterling on a private island. About Lily getting attached. About what it would mean. What it would look like. About how much he wanted to say yes. Lily would like it, he said instead. Victoria's expression shifted, something that might have been disappointment, or maybe relief. Right, Lily. And I mean, if you want to, it's your house. It is my house. So you could. Marcus was fumbling now, making it worse. I'm saying yes, if you're asking. You should come. Victoria smiled, small, genuine. Then I'll come. The car arrived 30 minutes later, not the Mercedes. A black SUV with tinted windows. Driver Marcus didn't recognize. They loaded suitcases, Lily's art supplies, the stuffed rabbit that went everywhere. The news van tried to follow, got 3 blocks before a different SUV, This one containing Victoria's security team cut them off. "Is this legal?" Marcus asked. "Define legal," Victoria said. They drove north, out of Seattle, through Everett, onto the ferry at Anacortes. Lily stood at the railing watching the water. Marcus stood beside her. "This is cool," she said. "Yeah, it is." "Miss Victoria's nice." "She is." "Do you like her?" Marcus looked at his daughter. "What kind of question is that?" "The kind that needs an answer." Lily gave him a look that was way too knowing for an 8-year-old. "Emma says when grown-ups spend lots of time together, it means they like each other." "Emma's 8. What does she know about grown-up relationships?" "Her parents are divorced. She knows stuff." Lily turned back to the water. "I think it's okay if you like her. Mommy would think it's okay too." Marcus's throat closed up. "Lily, I'm just saying, you smile more when she's around, and you haven't smiled much since Mommy died." She looked up at him. "I like it when you smile." Marcus pulled her close, kissed the top of her head. "I like it when you're happy." "I am happy, especially now. This is like an adventure." "Yeah," Marcus said softly. "It really is." They arrived at the peninsula just before sunset. The house was not what Marcus expected. He'd been picturing something massive, estate-like, the kind of place that screamed wealth. Instead, it was a cabin. Nice, yeah, but comfortable. Wood and glass, a deck overlooking the water, wind chimes hanging from the eaves. "This is yours?" Marcus asked. "Was my grandmother's. Only place she ever actually lived that felt like home." Victoria unlocked the door. "I kept it exactly how she left it." Inside was warm, cozy, furniture that looked lived in, bookshelves stuffed with paperbacks and photo albums, a kitchen with mismatched mugs and a cookie jar shaped like a lighthouse. Lily immediately ran to the window. "Daddy, you can see whales from here." "Maybe in the spring, sweetie." "Your grandmother lived here year-round?" Marcus asked. Victoria nodded. "She left Boston when my grandfather died. Said she was done with city life. Wanted somewhere quiet." She ran her hand along the back of a chair. "I used to visit during college breaks, before she passed." "I'm sorry." "Don't be. She lived exactly how she wanted. Died in her sleep at 92. Victoria smiled at the memory. "She was the only person in my family who ever gave a damn about me." "That's sad." "Yeah, but I had her. That was more than a lot of kids in the system get." She clapped her hands together. "Anyway, 2 bedrooms upstairs. You and Lily can take those. I'll sleep down here on the couch." "Victoria, we're not kicking you out of your own bed. My bed is in Seattle. This is my grandmother's bed, and she'd want it used by someone who needs it." She headed for the stairs. "I'll show you where everything is. Then I'm making dinner." "You cook?" "I can follow a recipe. Whether it's good is debatable." They ate pasta. Simple. Marinara from a jar. Garlic bread that was slightly burnt on the edges. Lily declared it delicious. Ate 2 helpings. After dinner, they sat on the deck. Lily drew pictures of the water. Marcus and Victoria sat in silence, watching the sky turn purple. "Thank you," Marcus said finally. "For this. All of it. You've thanked me 3 times today. You can stop. I don't know how to just accept help, without feeling like I owe something. You don't owe me anything." "Then, why are you doing this?" Victoria was quiet for a long time. Then, "Because 20 years ago, I was sleeping in my car, working 3 jobs, trying to save enough for community college, and nobody helped me. Nobody even noticed." She looked at him. "I clawed my way out alone, and it broke something in me. Made me think that's just how the world works. You fight, or you die. And now I'm realizing maybe it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe people can help each other. Maybe we can build something better." She smiled. You're helping me remember that, Marcus. You and Lily both. Marcus didn't know what to say to that, so he just sat there, watching the water, listening to Lily hum while she drew. And for the first time in 4 years, the weight on his chest felt a little lighter, like maybe he wasn't carrying it alone anymore. Like maybe letting someone in wasn't betraying Elena's memory. It was honoring it. Later that night, after Lily was asleep, Marcus found Victoria on the deck again. She was wrapped in a blanket staring at the stars. Can't sleep, he asked. Never been good at it. He sat beside her. Want to talk about it? About what? Whatever's keeping you up. Victoria pulled the blanket tighter. I got an email from my mother. Your biological mother. Yeah. Diane. The one who abandoned me when I was 3. Victoria's voice was flat. She wants to meet. Says she's changed. Says she wants a relationship. What do you want? I want her to disappear. Again. Permanently this time. She laughed bitterly. But Julian's lawyers found her. Convinced her to come forward. They're going to use her. Put her on camera. Have her talk about how I'm cold and vindictive and incapable of real human connection. That's not true. Isn't it? Victoria turned to him. I'm 35 years old, Marcus. I've never had a relationship that lasted more than 6 months. I've never let anyone get close. I built my entire life around not needing anyone. And now? Her voice caught. Now I'm sitting here on my dead grandmother's deck with a man I barely know, and it's the safest I've felt in 20 years. What does that say about me? Marcus didn't answer right away. Just sat there. Let the silence stretch. Then he said, It says you're human, just like the rest of us. Victoria looked at him. Really looked at him. I'm scared, she whispered. Of what? Of screwing this up. The foundation, the job, this whatever this is between us. She gestured vaguely. I don't know how to do this, how to let people in, how to trust that they won't leave. Marcus understood. God, did he understand? Everyone leaves eventually, he said quietly. Elena left, not because she wanted to, but she left, and I had to figure out how to keep breathing anyway. How did you do it? Lily, she needed me, so I showed up, every day, even when I wanted to give up, even when it felt impossible. He looked at the stars. You find a reason bigger than your fear, and you hold on to it. What if I don't have that? You do. The foundation, the families you're helping, that's bigger than fear. Victoria was quiet. Then, what if I want it to be more than that? Marcus's heart kicked against his ribs. More like what? She turned to face him fully. More like this. You, Lily, something real. The air between them felt electric. Victoria, I know it's fast, I know it's crazy, I know you're still grieving, and I'm a mess, and we barely know each other. She took a breath. But I can't remember the last time I felt like this. Like maybe I could be more than just my work. Like maybe there's something worth being vulnerable for. Marcus should have said no. Should have pulled back. Protected himself. Protected Lily. Instead, he reached out and took her hand. I'm scared too, he said. Terrified, actually. Of what? Of feeling this. Of wanting this. Of betraying Elena's memory by moving on. That's not betrayal, Marcus. That's living. I know. In my head, I know that. But my heart... He pressed his free hand to his chest. My heart's still catching up. Victoria squeezed his hand. Then we'll go slow. Figure it out together. No pressure, no expectations. Just see where this goes. Marcus looked at their joined hands. Thought about all the reasons this was a terrible idea. Then thought about Lily. About her asking if he liked Victoria. About her saying it was okay to smile again. Okay, he said. Okay. Yeah. Let's see where this goes. Victoria's smile was brighter than the stars, and when she leaned in and kissed him, soft, tentative, like she was afraid he might disappear. Marcus kissed her back. It wasn't like kissing Elena. It was different, new, terrifying and exhilarating, and so completely unexpected that Marcus almost laughed. When they pulled apart, Victoria was crying. "Sorry," she said, wiping her eyes. I'm not usually this emotional." "Me neither," Marcus said, and realized he was crying too. They sat there on the deck, holding hands, crying and laughing and feeling like idiots. And it was perfect. Absolutely, terrifyingly perfect. Inside, neither of them noticed Lily standing at the window, watching them with a smile that said she'd known all along. Morning came with the sound of Lily shrieking. Marcus bolted upright on the couch, heart hammering. Victoria was already on her feet, running toward the stairs. "Lily!" Marcus shouted, taking the steps 2 at a time. He burst into her room. She was standing at the window, jumping up and down, pointing. "Wales, Daddy? There's Wales?" Marcus's knees nearly buckled. "Jesus, Lily, I thought you were hurt." "Sorry, but look." She pressed her face against the glass. "There's 3 of them. Maybe 4. Victoria appeared in the doorway, breathing hard. "Everything okay?" "False alarm," Marcus said. "Whale sighting." Victoria walked to the window. Sure enough, 3 orcas were cutting through the water about 50 yards offshore, their dorsal fins slicing the surface like black knives. "I've lived here for 6 years and never seen them this close," Victoria said softly. Lily grabbed her hand. "Can we go down to the beach?" "After breakfast." "Can we have breakfast on the beach?" Victoria laughed. "You drive a hard bargain." "Fine. Beach breakfast." They ate cereal on the rocky shore, sitting on driftwood logs, watching the whales until they disappeared around the point. Lily chattered nonstop about marine biology and how Emma's older brother said orcas were actually dolphins, and was that true? Marcus's phone buzzed. He'd been ignoring it for 2 days, letting Victoria's assistant handle the fallout. But the number on the screen made him pause. "Mrs. Park." He answered. "Hello." "Marcus, thank God. I've been trying to reach you." "Is everything okay?" "No, there are men at your house. They're packing up your things. Say they're from the bank. That the property's being seized for I don't know. They're using legal words I don't understand." Marcus's blood ran cold. "What?" Victoria looked over, mouthed, "What's wrong?" "They're taking everything," Mrs. Park continued. "Your furniture, Lily's toys, boxes of personal items. I tried to stop them, but they have paperwork, official-looking paperwork. Marcus, what's happening?" "I put one of them on the phone. Now." Rustling. Then a man's voice. Bored. Professional. "This is Doug Hendricks, asset recovery specialist with—" "You're not taking anything from that house," Marcus said. "Sir, we have a court order. The property is in default, and the property is owned by Sterling Technologies. You don't have authority to. Our records show the property is still under the original mortgage holder. We have every right to." Victoria grabbed the phone from Marcus's hand. "This is Victoria Sterling, CEO of Sterling Technologies. We acquired that mortgage 6 months ago. Whatever paperwork you're looking at is fraudulent." Silence on the other end. Then, "Ma'am, I'm just following orders from—" "I don't care who gave you orders. You're on private property that my company owns. You have 60 seconds to get off that property before I have you arrested for trespassing and theft." "We have a court order signed by—" "Julian Sterling is not authorized to act on behalf of this company. He was fired 3 months ago and is currently under investigation for fraud. If you don't believe me, call our legal department. The number is on our website." Victoria's voice was pure ice. 50 seconds. More silence. Then the sound of the phone being handed back to Mrs. Park. "They're leaving," Mrs. Park said, loading everything back into the truck. "Marcus, what on earth is going on?" "It's a long story. I'll explain when I get back." He paused. "Thank you for calling me." "Of course, dear. You take care of yourself." And that sweet girl. She hung up. Marcus looked at Victoria. Julian's escalating. He's desperate, which makes him dangerous. She pulled out her own phone, started typing. I'm putting security on your house, 24/7 until this is over. Victoria, that's non-negotiable. He's already tried to seize your property. Next he'll try something worse. She kept typing. I'm also fast-tracking the restraining order, and I'm calling an emergency board meeting. Julian's crossed a line. The board will have to take action now. Lily was still watching the water, oblivious to the tension. Marcus walked down the beach a few yards. Victoria followed. This isn't going to stop, is it? Marcus said quietly. He's going to keep coming after me. After us. Not if I stop him first. How? He has lawyers, resources, family connections. So do I. More of them, actually. Victoria crossed her arms. Julian's been coasting on the Sterling name his whole life, but the board doesn't give a damn about family loyalty. They care about money, and I'm about to show them exactly how much money Julian's cost the company with his little revenge scheme. What are you talking about? Victoria smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Julian's been using company resources to fund his harassment campaign against you. Private investigators, lawyers, bribes to get that court order. I've been having forensic accountants dig through every transaction he's made in the last 6 months. That's you can access his financials. He never bothered to set up separate accounts. Everything ran through company cards because he never thought I'd check. She pulled up a spreadsheet on her phone. $340,000. That's how much he's spent trying to destroy you. Marcus stared at the numbers. Jesus! The board's going to have his head. Misappropriation of company funds. Fraud. Probably a dozen other charges I haven't even thought of yet. She pocketed her phone. Julian wanted a war. He's going to get one, just not the one he was expecting. They stood there in silence. Waves crashed against the rocks. Gulls screamed overhead. I'm sorry, Marcus said finally. For what? For dragging you into my mess. Victoria turned to look at him. Marcus, this isn't your mess. This is Julian's mess. You just happen to be the decent human being who got caught in the crossfire. She reached out, took his hand. And I'm not being dragged anywhere. I'm choosing this. Choosing to fight. Choosing... She stopped. Choosing what? You. I'm choosing you. She said it simply, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. I know it's fast. I know we barely know each other, but I haven't felt this sure about anything in a long time. Marcus's throat tightened. Victoria. You don't have to say it back. I'm not asking you to. I just need you to know that I'm all in. Whatever happens with Julian, with the company, with any of this, I'm not walking away. Marcus wanted to say something. Something profound or romantic or worthy of the moment. Instead, he just pulled her close and held her. Lily's voice carried up the beach. Are you guys being gross again? They broke apart. Victoria laughed, wiping her eyes. How long has she been watching? Marcus asked. Long enough, apparently. They walked back. Lily was building something in the sand with pieces of driftwood. What are you making? Victoria asked. A whale, obviously. Lily positioned another stick. Can we stay here forever? I wish we could, sweetie, Marcus said, but we have to go home eventually. Why, it's nice here. No reporters, no mean people. She looked up at them. Can't we just live here, the three of us? Marcus and Victoria exchanged glances. It's more complicated than that, Marcus started. Why? Because I have work. You have school. Miss Victoria has her company. She could do her work from here. I could do school online. You could... Lily paused. What's your work now? I'm helping Miss Victoria with her foundation. So do that from here. Lily gestured to the cabin. There's internet. There's a computer. What else do you need? Marcus opened his mouth, closed it. Couldn't actually think of a good argument. Victoria crouched down beside Lily. Would you really want to live here away from Emma? Away from your friends? Lily thought about it. Can Emma visit? Sure. And can I still do my art class? We'd figure something out. Then yeah. I'd want to live here, if it means Daddy's not tired all the time, and you're around more, and we're all safe. She looked between them. That's what matters, right? Being safe and together. Marcus felt something crack in his chest. Out of the mouths of babes, Victoria murmured. What? Lily asked. Nothing. Just, you're very smart. Victoria stood. Marcus, can I talk to you for a second? They walked back toward the cabin, left Lily building her driftwood whale. She has a point, Victoria said. About living here. About all of it. Safety, being together, not being exhausted all the time. Victoria leaned against the deck railing. What if we actually did it? Did what? Stayed here, for a while, not forever, but until the Julian situation is resolved, until it's safe to go back. Marcus shook his head. I can't ask you to do that. You have a company to run. I have a COO who's perfectly capable of handling day-to-day operations. I have video conferencing. I have the best internet money can buy installed in this cabin specifically so I could work remotely when I needed to. She turned to face him. I've spent the last 15 years building sterling tech. Maybe it's time I built something else. Like what? Like a life, a real one, not just work and meetings and 18-hour days. She took a breath. Look, I'm not saying we sell everything and become hermits. I'm saying we take a month, maybe 2. We work from here. We let Lily do online school. We let the lawyers handle Julian while we figure out what we actually want. And what do we want? Victoria met his eyes. I think you know. Marcus did know, had known since that first morning when she stood in his kitchen wearing Elena's shirt and somehow made him feel alive again. But knowing and admitting were different things. I need to think about it, he said. Okay. Victoria pushed off the railing. But think fast, because I'm having this conversation with Lily's school tomorrow, and if you're not on board, I need to know now. She went inside. Marcus stood on the deck watching Lily on the beach. She'd finished her whale, was now building something else. A house maybe, or a boat. His phone buzzed again. Text from an unknown number. You can run to your island, Marcus, but you can't hide. I'm coming for everything you love, and there's nothing Victoria can do to stop me. Below it, a photo. Lily's school. Time-stamped from this morning. Marcus's hands went numb. He forwarded the text to Victoria. She came back out 30 seconds later, phone pressed to her ear. I need a protective detail on Lily's school. Now. Yes, now. I don't care if you have to pull them from my personal security. She listened. Good. And I want eyes on Julian Sterling. I want to know everywhere he goes, everyone he talks to, every breath he takes. Pause. Because he just threatened a child, that's why. My lawyers will be filing for an emergency restraining order within the hour. She hung up, looked at Marcus. We're staying here, he said. However long it takes. You're sure? He threatened Lily. I'm not taking her back to Seattle until he's in a cell or 6 feet under, preferably both. Victoria nodded. I'll make the arrangements. That night, after Lily was asleep, Marcus and Victoria sat at the kitchen table with her laptop, going through messages, coordinating with lawyers, planning their next move. The board meeting is set for Monday, Victoria said. I'm presenting the forensic audit, showing exactly how Julian's misused company funds. Will that be enough? To get him removed from any remaining advisory positions? Yes. To get him arrested? She shrugged. Depends on how much the prosecutors want to pursue it. And the threat against Lily? Already filed with the police. They're treating it as credible. Victoria pulled up another document. I'm also filing a civil suit. Harassment, stalking, intentional infliction of emotional distress. I'm asking for $10 million in damages. Marcus choked on his coffee. $10 million. He threatened your child, Marcus. I want him to feel it. I want every penny he has tied up in legal fees and settlements until he has nothing left. That's vindictive, ruthless, yeah, probably. Victoria's eyes were hard. But I learned a long time ago that men like Julian only understand one language: power, money, consequences. She closed the laptop. I'm going to destroy him, methodically, legally, but completely. Marcus had never seen her like this. Cold, calculating, dangerous. It should have scared him. Instead, it made him feel safe. Thank you, he said. For what? For protecting us, for going to war for people you barely know. I know you well enough. She reached across the table, took his hand. And I'm not doing this because I feel obligated. I'm doing this because I... She stopped, swallowed. Because I care. About you. About Lily. About the life we might build if we can get through this. Marcus squeezed her hand. We'll get through it. How do you know? Because we have to. For Lily. For the foundation. For... He hesitated. For us. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. Us. I like the sound of that. Me too. Terrifying, but yeah, me too. They sat there holding hands across the table until Victoria's phone rang. She glanced at the screen, frowned. It's my mother. Diane. Yeah. Victoria stared at the phone like it was a snake. I don't know if I should... Answer it, Marcus said. You need to know what she wants. Victoria answered. Put it on speaker. Hello? Victoria. Diane's voice was older than Marcus expected. Raspy. Like she'd spent years smoking. I was hoping we could talk. About what? About Julian's lawyers. They've asked me to make a statement. About you. About your childhood. And are you going to... Silence on the other end. Then, that depends. On what? On whether you're willing to hear me out first. Diane took a breath. I know I don't deserve it. I know I abandoned you. But I need you to understand why. Victoria's hand tightened around Marcus's. I was 3 years old. What possible reason could you have? I was 17 when I had you. 17, addicted to meth, living in a car. Your father, he was 32, married. He wanted nothing to do with us. Her voice cracked. I tried. God, I tried. But I was a child raising a child, and I was high more often than I was sober, and I knew. I knew if I kept you, we'd both end up dead. Victoria's face was stone. So you left me in a fire station and disappeared. I left you somewhere safe, somewhere you'd be found, somewhere you'd have a chance. Diane was crying now. And I went to rehab, got clean, got my life together. But by then, you were in the system, and I couldn't get you back. I tried. I swear I tried. But they said I was unfit, that you were better off without me. I was, Victoria said coldly. Maybe you were. I don't know. But I've thought about you every single day for 32 years. Wondered if you were safe, if you were happy, if you hated me. I do hate you. I know, you have every right to. Diane took a shaky breath. But I'm asking you, I'm begging you, don't let Julian use me against you. Whatever he's paying me to say, whatever lies he wants me to tell, I won't do it. Not if you tell me not to. Victoria pulled her hand away from Marcus's, stood up, walked to the window. Why should I believe you? She asked. Because I have nothing left to lose. I'm 60 years old. I work at a grocery store. I live in a studio apartment in Tacoma. I don't want your money. I don't want anything except—" Her voice broke again. "Except maybe the chance to tell you I'm sorry, and that I'm proud of you, and that you deserved so much better than what I gave you." Victoria was crying silently, shoulders shaking. Marcus wanted to go to her, wanted to hold her, but something told him she needed this moment alone. "I need to think about this," Victoria said finally. "Okay. And I need time to process, to figure out if I even want you in my life." "I understand." "Don't talk to Julian's lawyers. Don't make any statements. Don't do anything until you hear from me. Can you do that?" "Yes, of course. Whatever you need." Victoria hung up, stood at the window for a long time. Marcus finally went to her, wrapped his arms around her from behind. She leaned into him, still crying. "I don't know what to do," she whispered. "You don't have to know. Not tonight." "What if she's lying? What if this is all part of Julian's plan? Then we'll deal with it, together." Victoria turned in his arms, looked up at him. "How are you so calm about all of this?" "I'm not calm. I'm terrified. But I've learned that being terrified doesn't mean you stop moving forward." He brushed a tear from her cheek. "Elena used to say fear is just love with nowhere to go. You're afraid because you care, because you want things to work out. That's not weakness. That's being human." Victoria kissed him, hard, desperate, like she was trying to pour everything she couldn't say into that single gesture. When they broke apart, she was still crying. "I think I'm falling for you," she said. Marcus's heart stopped, started again, beat so hard it hurt. "I think I'm falling for you too," he said. They held each other in the dark kitchen while the waves crashed outside and Lily slept upstairs, and somewhere in Seattle, Julian Sterling was probably planning his next attack. But in that moment, none of it mattered. In that moment, Marcus Chen and Victoria Sterling were just two broken people finding their way towards something whole. And that was enough. The next morning, Victoria's assistant called. The board meeting had been moved up. Tomorrow instead of Monday. Julian had made an emergency motion, was demanding Victoria step down as CEO. "On what grounds?" Victoria asked, pacing the deck. "Conflict of interest. Misuse of company resources. Engaging in a personal relationship that compromises fiduciary responsibility." The assistant's voice was tight. "He's calling you unfit to lead." Victoria laughed, actually laughed. "He's calling me unfit after embezzling $300,000. He's claiming your relationship with Marcus is clouding your judgment, that you're using company resources to protect him instead of protecting shareholder interests. That's insane. That's Julian." Papers rustled on the other end. "Victoria, you need to be here, in person. If you don't show up, the board might actually consider his motion." Victoria looked at Marcus, at Lily, building another driftwood sculpture on the beach. "I'll be there," she said. "Tomorrow, 9 a.m. She hung up. Marcus walked over. "You have to go back. Just for the day. I'll fly down in the morning, handle the meeting, fly back tomorrow night." "And what if Julian tries something while you're there?" "He won't. Too public. Too many witnesses." She turned to him. "You and Lily stay here. Security stays with you. Nobody gets on or off this property without clearance." "Victoria. I need you safe, Marcus. Both of you. That's the only way I can walk into that boardroom and do what needs to be done." He wanted to argue, wanted to tell her they should all go back together, face this as a family. But they weren't a family. Not yet. Not officially. "Okay," he said instead. "We'll stay. But you call me the second the meeting's over." "I promise." She left before dawn the next morning, kissed Marcus goodbye, hugged Lily while she was still half asleep. "Be good for your dad," Victoria whispered. Are you coming back? Lily asked. Soon as I can, sweetheart. Promise? I promise. And then she was gone. The helicopter lifting off from the beach, disappearing into the gray morning sky. Marcus and Lily watched until it was just a speck on the horizon. She'll be okay, right? Lily asked. Yeah, kiddo, she'll be okay. He hoped he was right. At 9:15 a.m., Marcus's phone rang. Victoria. How'd it go? He asked. He didn't show up. What? Julian. He's not here. Didn't come to the meeting. His lawyers filed the motion, but he... Victoria's voice was strange, tight. Marcus, something's wrong. His assistant says he left Seattle last night. Private plane. She doesn't know where he went. Marcus's blood went cold. Victoria. I'm coming back. Now. Don't leave the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone except security. Victoria, what if he's... Just stay inside. I'll be there in 2 hours. She hung up. Marcus locked every door, every window. Checked the security feed on the tablet Victoria had left. 4 guards posted around the property. Everything looked normal, but his hands wouldn't stop shaking. Lily looked up from her coloring. Daddy, you're scaring me. Sorry, sweetie. Just stay close to me today, okay? Why? Because I said so. An hour passed, then another. Victoria texted that she was 15 minutes out. Marcus watched the security feeds. The guards were still in position, nothing unusual. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. Hello. Marcus Chen. Julian's voice. Calm, friendly. Beautiful place you're hiding in. Very remote. Very quiet. Marcus's world tilted. How did you... Please. You think Victoria's the only one with resources? I've known about this cabin for years. She used to come here during college. I followed her once. Julian chuckled. Took everything in me not to burn it down then. But I'm patient. And now it's perfect. If you come near us... I'm already near you, Marcus. In fact... Rustling. Then a new sound. Helicopter rotors. I'm about 2 minutes from landing on your beach. Marcus grabbed Lily. Run. Upstairs. Bathroom. Lock the door. Daddy, what? Now. She ran. Marcus pulled up the security feed. Checked the cameras. And there it was. A helicopter. Black. Unmarked. Coming in fast over the water. He called Victoria. He's here. Julian's here. Helicopter incoming. I'm 5 minutes out. Get to the panic room. The what? Basement. Behind the water heater. There's a door. Code is 1952. Get inside and don't come out until I get there. The line went dead. Marcus ran upstairs. Grabbed Lily from the bathroom. We're going to the basement, he said. Fast. They made it downstairs just as the helicopter touched down on the beach. Through the window, Marcus saw Julian step out. Alone. No guards, no lawyers, just Julian, smiling. Marcus found the panic room, punched in the code. The door clicked open. Inside was a small space, reinforced walls, supplies, a phone line that connected directly to emergency services. He pushed Lily inside. Stay here. Don't open this door for anyone but me or Miss Victoria. Daddy, no. I love you, baby, more than anything. He kissed her forehead. Now hide. He closed the door, heard the lock engage. Then he went back upstairs. Julian was at the front door, knocking, polite, like he was visiting a friend. I know you're in there, Marcus, he called. Let's talk, man to man. Marcus didn't answer, pulled out his phone, called 911. 911, what's your emergency? There's a man trying to break into my house. He's threatened my daughter. We need police. Now. What's your location, sir? Marcus gave the address. The island, the coordinates. Sir, that's quite remote. It may take officers some time to... Then send a helicopter. Send the Coast Guard. Send whoever you have to send. But he's dangerous and we need help. Stay on the line, sir. Help is on the way. A window shattered. Upstairs, Lily's room. Marcus's heart stopped. Daddy! Lily's scream echoed through the house. He ran. Took the stairs 3 at a time. Lily's door was open. The window broken. Julian was climbing through. Marcus grabbed him, pulled him back. They crashed onto the floor of the hallway. Julian was stronger than he looked. Faster. He got his hands around Marcus's throat. You should have taken the money, Julian hissed. Should have kept your mouth shut. Should have let my sister die in that fire. Marcus couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Then Lily appeared, holding a lamp. She swung it, hit Julian in the head. He let go, stumbled back. Marcus gasped for air, grabbed Lily, ran. They made it to the panic room. Marcus punched in the code with shaking hands. The door opened. They fell inside. Marcus slammed it shut, locked it. Outside, Julian was screaming, pounding on the door. You can't hide forever. Eventually, you'll have to come out. Marcus held Lily close. She was crying, shaking. It's okay, he whispered. We're safe. Help's coming. I'm scared, Daddy. I know, baby. Me too. They sat in the dark, listening to Julian rage outside. And then silence. The pounding stopped. Marcus heard new voices, shouting. Then a single gunshot. Lily screamed. Marcus covered her ears. It's okay! It's okay! More voices, then Victoria's, clear, strong. Marcus! It's me! You can come out! He opened the door slowly, carefully. Victoria was standing there. Behind her 4 security guards, and Julian on the ground, hands zip-tied behind his back, blood running from his temple where Lily had hit him with the lamp. Victoria pulled them both into her arms. You're okay. You're safe. I've got you. Police sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. Marcus held Victoria and Lily, the 3 of them shaking, crying, but alive. Is it over? Lily whispered. Victoria looked at Julian being hauled to his feet by security. Yeah, sweetheart, she said. It's over. Julian was arraigned 3 days later. Breaking and entering, assault, attempted kidnapping. The charges kept piling up like debris after a storm. His bail was set at $2 million. He couldn't make it. The family money had dried up the moment the board voted him out. Marcus watched the proceedings on Victoria's laptop from the cabin. Lily was at the table beside him doing her online schoolwork. She'd barely spoken since the attack, just drew pictures and stayed close to Marcus or Victoria at all times. The judge denied bail reduction. Julian would stay in county lockup until trial. Victoria closed the laptop. It's done. For now, Marcus said. For good. His lawyers are already talking plea deals. 20 years minimum. She sat down across from him. He's not getting out, Marcus. Not for a very long time. Marcus wanted to feel relief, vindication, something. Instead, he just felt tired. I need to call Lily's school, he said. Let them know we're extending her leave. How long are you thinking? I don't know. Another month, until she feels safe again. He rubbed his face. She woke up screaming last night, 3rd time this week. Victoria reached across the table, took his hand. She's been through trauma. It's going to take time. I know. I hate that she had to go through this. Any of this. Marcus looked at Lily. She was hunched over her tablet earbuds and completely absorbed. She's 8 years old. She should be worried about homework and sleepovers, not restraining orders and criminal trials. Kids are resilient. Everyone says that. But what if she's not? What if this breaks something in her that never heals? Victoria squeezed his hand. Then we'll get her help. Therapy. Whatever she needs. But Marcus, look at her. Really look. Marcus did. Lily was mouthing the words to whatever song was playing. Her feet swung under the chair. She'd tied her hair up in a messy bun that morning all by herself. "She's okay," Victoria said softly. "Scared, yeah. Processing, definitely. But she's okay, because she has you, and you're not going to let her fall apart." Marcus's throat tightened. "I don't know how to do this. How to help her." "You just show up. Every day. That's all any of us can do." They sat in silence. Outside, rain pattered against the windows, the first real storm since they'd arrived. Wind howled through the trees. Lily took out her earbuds. "Can I ask you guys something?" "Of course, sweetie," Marcus said. "Are we ever going back to Seattle?" Marcus and Victoria exchanged glances. "Eventually," Marcus said carefully. "When you're ready." "What if I'm not ready for a long time?" "Then we wait." Lily chewed her lip. "Emma's mom called. She wants to know if I can come to Emma's birthday party next month. It's in Seattle." Marcus's stomach clenched. "Do you want to go?" "I don't know." Lily twisted her hands together. "I miss Emma, but I'm scared." "Scared of what?" "That he'll be there. That bad man." "Julian's in jail, baby. He can't hurt you." "But what if he gets out?" Victoria spoke up. "He's not getting out, Lily, I promise you. The judge made sure of that." "But you can't promise. Not really. Bad things happen even when people promise they won't." Lily's voice was small, lost. "Mom promised she'd get better, but she didn't." Marcus felt like he'd been punched. He got up, knelt beside Lily's chair. "You're right. I can't promise nothing bad will ever happen. Life doesn't work that way." "Then how do I stop being scared?" "You don't. Not completely. But you learn to be brave anyway." He brushed hair from her face. "Being brave doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you're afraid, but you do the thing anyway. Like when you saved Miss Victoria." "Exactly like that. I was terrified. But I did it anyway because it was the right thing to do." Lily looked at Victoria. "Were you scared when you came to save us?" "More scared than I've ever been in my life," Victoria admitted. "I thought," her voice caught, "I thought I might be too late, that he might hurt you before I could get there." "But you came anyway." "Of course I did, because I—" Victoria stopped, looked at Marcus, back to Lily. "Because I love you. Both of you." The words hung in the air like something fragile. Lily's eyes went wide. "Really? Really?" Victoria's voice was steady now. "Sure. I know I'm not your mom. I know I can't replace her. But I want to be here. For you. For your dad. If you'll let me." Lily launched herself out of the chair, wrapped her arms around Victoria's neck. "I want you here. I want you here forever." Victoria hugged her back, tight. Her eyes met Marcus's over Lily's shoulder. He mouthed, "I love you too." She smiled through her tears. When Lily finally let go, she announced she was going to her room to draw. Left Marcus and Victoria sitting at the table, both of them slightly stunned. "That was," Marcus started, "unexpected. I was going to say terrifying, but yeah, unexpected works too." Victoria laughed, wiped her eyes. "I didn't plan to say it, it just came out." "Did you mean it?" "Every word." She looked at him. "I know it's fast. I know we're still figuring things out. But I've never been more sure of anything." Marcus stood, walked around the table, pulled her to her feet. "I love you too," he said, in case that wasn't clear. It was a little ambiguous. "Let me be more specific then." He cupped her face in his hands. "I love you, Victoria Sterling. I love your stubbornness and your vulnerability, and the way you make Lily laugh. I love that you fight for people you care about. I love that you're standing here in sweatpants with no makeup, and you're still the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." Victoria kissed him. Long, deep. The kind of kiss that said everything words couldn't. When they broke apart, she was smiling. So what do we do now? Now we figure out how to actually live. Together. As a whatever we are. Family, Victoria said simply. We're a family. Marcus tested the word. Let it settle. Yeah, we are. The next month passed in a strange kind of peace. They established routines. Marcus worked on foundation proposals in the mornings while Lily did her schoolwork. Victoria took video calls with her executive team, ran the company from the cabin's makeshift office. Afternoons they spent together. Walked the beach, cooked dinner, played board games that Lily usually won. Slowly, Lily's nightmares faded. She started sleeping through the night, started laughing more, started being 8 again instead of a kid who'd seen too much. Emma's birthday party came and went. Lily decided she wasn't ready. Emma understood. They did a video call instead. 2 hours of 8-year-old gossip about school and boys and who said what at recess. Marcus watched from the doorway, saw Lily's face light up, saw her being normal. Victoria came up behind him, wrapped her arms around his waist. She's ready. Ready for what? To go home. Marcus turned in her arms. How do you know? Because I know you, and I know that look. You're thinking about Seattle, about your house, about what comes next. She was right. He had been thinking about it, more and more lately. The lease on my office downtown expires next month, Victoria said. I've been thinking about not renewing it. Why not? Because I don't want to go back to 18-hour days and sleeping in my office. She paused. I want mornings with you, and afternoons with Lily, and evenings where we actually sit down and eat dinner together. You can have that in Seattle. Can I, or will I fall back into old patterns, old habits? Victoria shook her head. I've been running Sterling Tech for 15 years. Maybe it's time someone else took the wheel. Marcus pulled back. You're talking about retiring. Not retiring. Transitioning. The board's been pushing me to promote Sarah Chen to CEO for years. She's brilliant, more than capable, and she actually wants the job. Victoria smiled. I'd stay on as executive chair, strategic vision, big picture stuff. But day-to-day, that would be Sarah's problem. Victoria, you can't restructure your entire life for us. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. She took his hands. Marcus, I've spent my whole life building something to prove I was worth something. To prove I wasn't that abandoned kid in the foster system. But I proved it. I built an empire, and now I want to build something else. What? A life. With you. With Lily. Maybe even... She stopped. Even what? Victoria's cheeks colored. Maybe even more kids. Someday. If you wanted. Marcus's heart kicked hard against his ribs. You want kids? I want a family. A real one. The kind I never had. She looked up at him. Is that crazy? No. It's... Marcus laughed, pulled her close. It's perfect. You're perfect. I'm really not. Perfect for me then. They stood there holding each other while Lily's laughter echoed from the other room. 2 weeks later they packed up the cabin, loaded the SUV, said goodbye to the place that had kept them safe. The drive back to Seattle felt longer than Marcus remembered. Or maybe he was just nervous, wondering what they'd find, how much had changed. His house looked the same. Mrs. Park had kept an eye on it, watered the plants, collected the mail. The security team Victoria had posted was gone now. Julian was awaiting trial. His associates had scattered. Marcus unlocked the door, stepped inside. Everything was exactly as he'd left it. Elena's photo on the mantel, Lily's drawings on the fridge. The worn couch where he'd slept that first morning Victoria appeared in his kitchen. It felt like a lifetime ago. Lily ran to her room, started unpacking her art supplies. Victoria stood in the doorway. Is it weird being back? A little, Marcus admitted. But good weird. Like I don't know. Like I'm different than when I left. You are different. We all are. Marcus walked to the mantel, picked up Elena's photo. I used to talk to this picture every night, asking her what to do, how to move forward. And now I think I know. He set the photo down gently. She'd like you, you know. She'd approve. You think, I know. She wanted me to be happy, wanted Lily to have a mother figure. Marcus turned to Victoria. You make us happy, both of us. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. You make me happy too. Happier than I thought I could be. They stood there in the small living room. The house was quiet except for Lily singing in her bedroom, unpacking, settling in. So what now? Victoria asked. Now we live, we work, we figure it out as we go. Marcus smiled. And maybe we start looking at bigger houses, with room for an office, and a studio for Lily, and a yard big enough for that dog she keeps asking about. You're getting her a dog. We're getting her a dog, if you're moving in. Victoria's breath caught. Is that an invitation? It's a plea. I don't want you in some sterile downtown apartment. I want you here, with us, burning eggs and making Lily laugh and driving me crazy. He took her hands. Move in with us, Victoria. Be part of this family. Officially. Yes. No hesitation, just yes. God, yes. They kissed, long and slow. The kind of kiss that promised forever. Lily appeared in the hallway. Are you guys being gross again? They broke apart laughing. Guilty, Marcus said. Miss Victoria's moving in, Lily announced, like she'd known all along. How did you? I heard you talking. The walls are thin. She grinned. Does this mean we're getting a dog? Eventually, Victoria said. After we find a bigger house. Lily squealed, ran over, hugged both of them. This is the best day ever. The foundation officially launched 3 months later. The Chen Initiative. Named after Marcus. Run by Marcus and a small team of people who'd lived the struggle themselves. The first round of funding went to 50 families. $5,000 each. No applications. No bureaucracy. Just people telling their stories and the community deciding who needed help most. Within 6 months, they'd funded 200 families. Within a year, 500. The media coverage was intense at first. Everyone wanted to interview the CEO, who gave up her corner office to run a charity with the man who saved her life. But Victoria shut it down. Redirected attention to the families they were helping. Made it about them, not her. Marcus found he was good at the work. Better than good. He understood what it meant to be drowning financially. Understood the shame of asking for help. He could look families in the eye and say, I've been there. I know. You're not alone. Lily went back to school. Had nightmares occasionally, but less and less as time went on. Emma was still her best friend. They had sleepovers every other weekend. Victoria transitioned to executive chair of Sterling Technologies. Worked from home most days. Attended board meetings remotely. Spent her afternoons with Lily, helping with homework, driving her to art class, being the mother figure Lily had been missing. They found a house in Ballard. 4 bedrooms. Big yard. Space for everyone. And they got a dog. A golden retriever puppy Lily named Pancake, because according to her he was golden and fluffy and made everything better. 1 year after the island, Marcus and Victoria got married. Small ceremony. Just close friends and Lily. Mrs. Park officiated because she'd gotten ordained online specifically for this purpose. Lily was flower girl, wore a yellow dress, cried happy tears when Marcus and Victoria said their vows. Marcus's vow included a promise to burn fewer eggs. Victoria's included a promise to always wear Marcus's old flannel shirt, the one from that first morning, the one that started everything. 2 years later, Victoria was pregnant. A boy. They named him Henry, after Victoria's grandmother's favorite poet. Lily was thrilled to be a big sister. Helped with feedings, changed diapers without complaining. Drew him pictures for his nursery. The Chen initiative expanded, national now, helping thousands of families across the country. Marcus hired a bigger team, opened regional offices, but never lost sight of the mission: help people who needed it, no strings attached, no judgment. Julian Sterling was convicted on all counts, sentenced to 25 years. No parole. His lawyers filed appeals, but they went nowhere. He'd made too many enemies, burned too many bridges. Diane, Victoria's biological mother, stayed in touch. Tentatively at first. Christmas cards, birthday calls, eventually occasional dinners. They'd never be close. Too much history, too many wounds. But they'd found a way to be civil, to be something. Victoria said it was enough. 5 years after that first morning, Marcus woke up to the sound of Lily and Henry arguing downstairs about who got to feed Pancake. Victoria was still asleep beside him, one hand on her pregnant belly. Baby number 3. A girl this time. They were naming her Elena. Marcus slipped out of bed, pulled on jeans and that old flannel shirt, went downstairs. Lily was 13 now, all legs and attitude and artistic talent. Henry was 3, pure chaos in toddler form. "Dad, tell Henry it's my turn to feed Pancake," Lily said. "Henry, it's Lily's turn." "No fair. Life's not fair. You'll get your turn tomorrow." Marcus started coffee. "Where's your mom?" "Still sleeping. Baby Elena kept her up all night, kicking." Marcus smiled. Same thing had happened with Henry. Victoria couldn't sleep the last month of pregnancy. Too uncomfortable, too anxious. He made breakfast. Actual eggs. Not burnt. He'd gotten better over the years. Pancake sprawled on the kitchen floor, tail thumping. This was his life now. Chaos and noise and love and mess. He wouldn't trade it for anything. Victoria appeared in the doorway, Henry on her hip. Hair messy. Wearing one of Marcus's old t-shirts, glowing despite the exhaustion. "You let me sleep in," she said. "You needed it. I love you. I love you too." Lily made gagging noises. "You guys are so cheesy. You're literally drawing hearts on your notebook with Emma's name in them," Victoria pointed out. Lily's face went red. "That's different." "How?" "Because we're 13, you guys are old." Marcus laughed. "Thanks, kiddo. Really feeling the love." They ate breakfast together. All of them. The kitchen was too small for the table they'd crammed in. They kept talking about moving to a bigger place. Never did. This house held too many memories. This house was where they became a family. After breakfast, Lily went to Emma's. Henry went down for a nap. Victoria and Marcus sat on the back deck watching Pancake chase squirrels. "I got the final numbers from the foundation," Victoria said. "We're at 10,000 families now. 10,000. That's incredible. It's you, your vision, your heart." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "I never could have built this alone." "Neither could I." They sat in comfortable silence. 5 years ago, Marcus couldn't have imagined this life, this family, this version of happiness. 5 years ago, he was drowning. Now he was breathing. "Remember that first morning?" Victoria asked. "When I was wearing your shirt and you wanted to throw me out. I remember threatening to call the cops. I was terrified. I'd just survived a car crash and woke up in a stranger's house. But you made me feel safe, even when you were furious." "I wasn't furious. I was scared." "Of what?" "Of feeling something. For someone. After Elena." Marcus took her hand. "I thought loving someone new meant I was betraying her memory. And now I know love doesn't replace love. It adds to it. I loved Elena. I always will. But I love you too. Differently. But just as much." Victoria kissed him. Soft. Sweet. "Elena would be proud of you. Of who you've become. Of the family you've built." "We've built." "We've built," she agreed. Henry woke up crying. They went inside together. Victoria soothed him while Marcus started dinner. This was their life. Not perfect, not always easy, but real, honest, built on a foundation of kindness and second chances, and the kind of love that grows slowly, deliberately strong enough to weather any storm. That night after the kids were asleep, Marcus and Victoria stood in Lily's doorway. She'd fallen asleep with her sketchbook open, drawing of their family, all 5 of them, plus Pancake. Victoria whispered, "We did good." "Yeah," Marcus said. "We really did." They went to their room, got ready for bed, settled in beside each other. Victoria's hand found his in the dark. "Thank you." "For what?" "For saving me. That night. On the highway. You saved me too, you know." "Did I?" "You reminded me I was still alive, still capable of feeling something other than grief." Marcus pulled her close. "You gave me permission to start again." "We gave each other permission," Victoria said. And she was right. That first morning when Marcus Chen woke up to find a stranger in his kitchen wearing his dead wife's shirt, he thought his life was over. Turns out, it was just beginning. Sometimes the person you save ends up saving you right back. Sometimes kindness without expectation changes everything. Sometimes broken people find each other and build something whole. Marcus Chen learned that love isn't something you run out of. It's something that multiplies, expands, grows stronger the more you give it away. And Victoria Sterling learned that wealth isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in moments, in laughter around a kitchen table, in a child's drawing on the fridge, in someone holding your hand in the dark and promising they're not going anywhere. They learned it together, and they'd spend the rest of their lives teaching it to everyone who crossed their path. Because that's what the Chen Initiative was really about. Not money, not charity. It was about showing people that kindness still exists, that second chances are real, that no matter how far you've fallen, someone's willing to help you stand back up. Marcus and Victoria built that together, one family at a time, one act of grace at a time, one morning at a time. Starting with the morning Marcus Chen woke up to find the CEO in his shirt. The morning everything changed. The morning 2 broken people started building something beautiful. And they lived it not perfect, not easy, but real and true, and worth every single struggle it took to get there.